Every wave.
Hi, my name is Stephen Antonich, and this is my special occasion speech. Evel Knievel is a famous motorcycle daredevil, known worldwide for his record-breaking stunts and crashes, who is now remembered by one of the most exciting weekends of the summer in Butte, Montana. Robert Craig Knievel was born on October 17, 1938, in the rough mining town of Butte, Montana. A keen sportsman at school, Knievel won the Northern Rocky Mountain Ski Association class in 1957, before setting up the Butte Bombers hockey team, for which he became manager, coach, and player. After working in copper mines and as a diamond drill operator, Knievel became an insurance salesman. His love of motorcycles was always a constant factor in his life, and he would later open several Honda dealerships in the Washington area. Ever the showman, he would offer potential customers a $100 discount off the price of a motorcycle if they could beat him in arm wrestling. In 1965, his alter ego, Evel Knievel, came to life, and he went on to become the world's most famous daredevil, having formed a troupe called Evel Knievel's Motorcycle Daredevils. Evel toured the U.S. performing stunts such as riding through firewalls, jumping over snakes, and being towed at 200 miles an hour behind race cars. By 1966, he was touring as a solo star, and his stunts had become more and more daring. In 1968, he successfully jumped a massive 151 feet across the fountains in front of Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. However, his landing was far from perfect, and he ended up in a coma for 30 days. Having recovered from the crash, Evel continued with his daredevil exploits, raking in $1 million for his jump over 13 buses at Wembley Stadium, and a staggering $6 million for his infamous Snake River Canyon jump. Knievel broke his pelvis during the famous Wembley jump, with his bike coming down over the 13 buses. Despite his injury, he refused to be taken off on a stretcher, saying that he came in walking and would go out walking. Here I have a picture of the Snake River jump. As you can see, where the arrow is where the actual jump is. And a couple years back, I got to see the jump, and it's basically like a mountain on top of a canyon. I'll pass that around for you guys. By 1976, it was the end of the road for the death-defying star, after he and a cameraman were seriously injured during an attempt to jump a tank full of live sharks. The pair were injured when they collided during rehearsals. Although Knievel broke his arm during the practice run, he was said to be distraught over the fact that his cameraman lost an eye in the incident. After a long, successful career, Evel's last day came on November 30th, 2007. Evel Knievel Days falls the last weekend in July every year, with this year being the 10th annual event. Even though this is the 10th year of the event, the crowds have grown ever drastically after Evel's death in 2007, making it more of a memorable weekend. Evel Knievel's hometown of Butte, Montana, plays host to the world's greatest celebration for the world's greatest daredevil in the finest fashion. Spanky Spangler, Ryan Capes, Trigger Gum, and the captain himself, Robbie Knievel, have all performed headline stunts for EK Days, not to mention dozens of dazzling feats attempted by some of the country's greatest stuntmen and daredevils. All events during the weekend are held in historic Uptown Butte and are free to the public to watch unless otherwise stated. Every day has a schedule of events starting with Friday, and most performances can be seen every day at the same time during the weekend. Here's a flyer for this year's events. I'll pass this out so you guys can check this out too. Two of my personal favorite performers that return every year are the Flying Fool High Divers and Key Sayers Freestyle Motorcycle production shows. A daredevil by the name of Spanky Spangler does one big death-defying act every year on Saturday night. The past 2 years I have attended, he has jumped off a 20-story hotel on fire, and last year he jumped a flaming car into 2 school buses standing on end that were made to explode when struck. Needless to say, it is a sight to be seen and shouldn't be missed if you go. When the nighttime rolls around, the concert begins, and thousands of people come out to hear the home state legend Tim Montana perform. If you have never been to Butte, then you may not realize that on a normal weekend night uptown, you can walk around and go from place to place without seeing 10 people total. On the nights of the concerts, however, you can hear the music from the outskirts of town, and when you actually make it up there, it is shoulder-to-shoulder foot traffic for miles. Sunday of Evil Days is more of a day to show remembrance for Evel Knievel with the annual biker rally and memorial ceremony. Thousands of motorcycles parade through the streets of uptown Butte in a biker rally that is one of the biggest in the world next to Sturgis. In the afternoon, people gather at Evel's one-of-a-kind gravesite out by Butte Mooney Airport to show respect for the man of the weekend. In conclusion, Evel Knievel Days is one of my favorite weekends of the year. It is a great way to say goodbye to summer and get out in the sun for one last time before friends have to part ways and head back to school. Being born and growing up so close to Butte makes the event special to me because my parents grew up there when Evel was in his prime, so I get to hear a lot of his old stories. It is definitely a one-of-a-kind weekend, and if you ever get the chance to make it in, even for a day, you will be amazed. Thanks.